Alright, so, our health is pretty low. We should get going up in here. Supposedly. I guess I can talk to the people around here. I can rest up later. I also need to get that fridge thing taken care of. Yep. You got a couple things to do. We got hella money too.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Hey, sweetie.
Why, you are, officer.
I'm not sweet. Look at me. Maybe I am.
And have you found anyone to be sweet to?
No, I'm done with mating rituals this time around. I don't know. Maybe I have. Wink. I had once. Then I lost it. Nah, I'll say I don't know. Maybe I have.
You rascal. I'm too old for you, and too married besides.
Oof.
Your advances haven't thrown her off one bit. In another place and time, she would have probably welcomed your attention.
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
What are you talking about? How would you like to roll with me? I don't know if you noticed, but I don't know where I am, or what I'm doing, or anything. Sweetie needs money. Do sweeties get money? No. How'd you like to roll with me?
Whatever do you mean?
I want you to be my wheelchair partner in fighting crime. Helping people, catching sequence killers. Roll us some cigarettes, I'm jonesing for a smoke. Nothing, I was thinking of the lyrics to a song. Wanna roll with me? Nah, I'll be one.
Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie.
A partner who needs you to get back to helping the people.
Yeah, of course, I forgot how to use. I know, but there are also side mysteries. Sequence killers and forays into supernatural.
I can assure you, with absolute certainty, there are no sequence killings taking place in Martinez.
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be of much use to you anyway,
Heads are
sweetie.
better than two.
Thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair-accessible place, you see. I'd slow you down.
Aw.
Perhaps another time.
You seem to be in a chair.
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
Sorry. It was rude of me to mention a wheelchair. Let's move on.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
Sweetie needs money. Do sweeties get money?
Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe
Dang.
you and every other
I don't want to
sad,
take advantage
lost
of their
person on this earth.
kindness.
You've got guns of steel and a chiseled jaw, somewhere under the bloated alcohol layer. Maybe she'd like to sponsor you.
Tug on our heartstrings. Oh my gosh, so much. Yeah. I will do this.
Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear.
It isn't easy for me to ask this of anyone, but I am at the end of my rope. Any money you have could help me.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but I could give you this to pawn. Just to tide you over.
Dang.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste, Summer 31, Dinghy Races.
This will help me out, Lena. Thanks. I promise I'll buy it back for you once I have more money.
Cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack nestled against an old stone facade. That's the pawn shop. An old friend of my husband's goes there often. He says the owner is quite helpful.
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the Items tab. You can pawn these items when talking to Roy.
Promise I'll be back for you once I have more money.
Oh, it's not an ancient family heirloom or anything, but I suppose it would be nice to get it back.
How'd you pick?
I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket.
I just wanted to thank you again.
Of course, dear. I just wish I could have done more.
Don't know if you noticed, but I don't know where I am or what I'm doing or anything.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
I drank so hard I forgot literally everything.
Oh my. You know where we are, right?
The Whirling in Rags cafeteria? It's on my keys.
That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags
Revachol?
cafeteria itself located? Yes, indeed. We are in the fine city of Revachol.
Honestly, I don't know diddly squat about Revachol. What kind of place is this?
How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
It's a bad year in my late 40s or 50s. I don't even know how old I am.
There. The year is 51, and spring has only just started. I'm sure there are better days ahead.
The lieutenant studies you, rubbing his chin. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant. How can it be that bad? Never mind. We're in this now. Outside, the melting snow seeps into the cracks in the walls and the cobblestone streets, all the way down into the sewers. Above ground, the first maybells blossom. You can feel it, a great cold. Then the shiver passes.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Cop. We're living under the cop regime. I'd like to think that it's dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
Oh no, government. How they come there's cops.
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
How did I do?
You didn't do too well, dear. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality, in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
What is this revolution?
A
you
defeat,
mentioned?
I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
What does that have to do with there not being any cops?
It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these
You can
things?
tell me.
And how can I help you?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in
I gotta
Martinez.
get going now.
Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
Yeah, I don't really wanna sell that. I'm not gonna sell it.
Hello again, sweetie.
Thought you paid.
I hope you were able to pawn that. Oh, thank you, dear. I confess I am glad to see it again.
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie?
Gotta get going now.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
Pretty long. It's drink of law.
Attaboy. It's coming back to him. You had your mesolimbic reward pathway worried there, not thinking about drinking all that time. It was like you weren't yourself.
Actually, should I be thinking about this? Looks like drinking hasn't turned out too well for me.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain.
I'm not gonna
off the
lick
counter.
this stain off the counter.
What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring normal person drink then. It would go well with those cigarettes. That's a great combination.
Gotta spend money to make money. True words. Alright.
Can I help you?
I need a drink. Can you pour me?
Do I have a shaker in my hand? Is this a shaker?
He sounds irritated.
Sound irritated. Why? Well, all I want is a drink.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I wearing a bow tie and doing this? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? No. Do you know why?
Because you're not a bartender.
That's right. I'm the cafeteria manager. I'm glad we cleared that. Is there anything else?
He's making an exception. I got fine. Then I had something else in mind.
Like what? Yes. Have you got it?
How much do I owe you again?
A lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and broken window, 130 real.
Ah, dang it. I only got so much real.
Yes.
I need a drink. Could you pour me one?
Do I have a shake?
He sounds irritated.
Am I wearing a... Am I smiling? Because I'm not a bartender. I'm a cafeteria manager. Is there anything else you wanted?
Okay, fine.
Like what?
Dang it, 130 real. How are we gonna get that?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging
You know what's
your
behind that
presence.
door?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging. And shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Leo says you're friends with Manana. Is that true?
The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of They're friends.
They're friends, yeah.
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then seems to wait, for you to speak.
Sorry, I don't understand you.
Just one word. Sounds quizzical. Then he awaits your answer with his brow arched.
Yes.
Horse need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
I'll leave the cooking to you.
The cook gives you a long, inspecting look, then shrugs too, and
Okay, let's...
the door is closed. Still, the lieutenant, he doesn't like where this is. You should punch a fucking hole in it.
no.
The murmur in your ears
I could have had a blazer.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
The option to go to sleep becomes available.
Oh, I could have worn this the whole time. Wow. How embarrassing.
The bed is cold.
Wait, what's that? Well, we could have had shoes. Wow, I'm dumb. Okay.
There they both are. Two identical shoes. Both copiously green.
These do
and
not look like normal
indiscriminately
cop shoes.
snakeskin, reunited on your feet. It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Oh shoot, is that a tie?
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange
Hold
world.
the fan.
The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now.
Alright. Pull on the light bulb.
The lights are on.
Alright, let's grab the tie.
You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. Warning, warning. The necktie is no longer contained. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose.
Nice. Okay. Let's put on the tie. I think I got it. Yep, got the horrific necktie. What now?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Hmm. Yeah, not really wanting this right now. Or do I? I need the chain cutters, don't I? I need chain cutters. How do I equip this? Tool.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned. The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
Rip. Wait, what? Okay. Well, we still got a couple minutes. I'll make enough money to pay off somehow, I hope. Can I do a little karaoke? Well, the fridge thing is not gonna work.
The lights are so pretty when it gets dark.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not...
Alright, we better save, I guess. I have a feeling that I can do this. But, I could die. And I'm not wanting to die.
A
Let's do
heavy
it.
door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in
Yes,
dozens,
we
if not
passed.
hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms.
Damn.
It appears to be locked. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Smash it again. Wordless. What is Kitsuragi gonna say?
What is this place?
Looks like a. I think this might be the. Looks like a gym to me.
Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Let's just keep going. I'm sure that it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here.
Sounds good.
Oh, we got a little more pain threshold. Alright, okay. Yes.
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
Head hurts. I'll do it later, maybe. Look, there are no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch
The
it.
bastard would just remove the collars. It should be a felony. Actually, I don't really care about safety hazards.
No one does until they get smashed under the barbells.
It's mainly because I'm a weightlifter.
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your
I'm
bruised
not gonna
knee
lift it.
against the mat, and a whistle. Then,
We're in no shape to do that.
Yes?
Ooh, money. More money. Production schedule. Creepy music.
your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting, wax-based, matte translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little
Well, these
Welkin creatures.
Yeah, one of them is a Skelkin Supreme. Would anyone spend so much time on this? I'll have questions.
This looks like
Oh.
concept art for a project. It's not really real. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for
One
a
of
game.
them is a Skelkin Supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard too. Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes
D&D
wrapped in perpetual
rooms.
night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bone. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe." This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. So much pain. Back pain, neck pain, headaches, carpal tunnel, chest pain. No gym membership can make up for working in this manner. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside. But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not the time not interested
think
in
I should turn it on?
abandoned radio computers.
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
Is the lieutenant a little scared? Just now when he looked around, the machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnet. Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What is the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Alright, thanks for the explanation.
That was a question. Have you inserted it into the
Yes.
core? Good. Please repeat the password.
You should ask her
A
for
password. I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint?
No.
Is it my birthday?
Still
This
no.
is a please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do
Why
for
did you call me a fortress accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been
Do you
registered.
have any other information about this company?
One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games.
What's that? This
That's
interactive
what
calling
the
radio game?
catalog says. Any other questions?
What are you, a machine? Are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Okay, where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark. Doesn't it get lonely?
Doesn't it get
Sitting
lonely
there
doing
all
his
by
job?
herself?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do
That's all
for
for now.
First Accident. Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Nothing happens. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely a diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, all of this is gone, left unrealized.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in...
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
How are they planning to do that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WiiWare board game, with hit death.
What do you think happened in the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Yeah. This world is cold and lonely though. This would keep it company. Let's finish.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving. Yes? Yes?
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes. Fold. What an odd thing to do. Nothing. Still nothing. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts.
I'm
now.
running low on the health stuff.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things?
I can try.
Thanks. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further.
Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
Gaze upon me, stuff in despair.
Kudos. As before, an iron safety curtain curves before.
Nothing too interesting. No. Whoa. Maybe I do have to break this down. I'm gonna save real quick, y'all.
As before. Those curtains prove to be super.
Can you please try to refresh? Why do you think there's something on the other side? In any case, there's no way we can...
Oof, you died.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left. Very. All you feel. Cop suffers
we
final
died.
heart attack. A detective lieutenant.
Luckily we saved it. I had a feeling we could die. Yeah. Not a wise move to attack that thing, huh? Anyways.
As before, an iron safety.
So, I don't know. Oh wait, there's a door here. Revachol. It's loading. Yeah. So yeah, we can easily die. We're not in a very good position at all. What the? Okay. Oh shoot! It's a bear. It's a bear. Creepy bear.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. This ice bear is a hyper-carnivore. Be careful.
Crack open the door.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster
Relax,
of his
Kim. It's a
gun.
fridge, remember?
Of course. A giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Just what we were looking for. Let's see what's inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see
Oh,
are
ice
crumpled
cream.
ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Okay. This is clearly the fridge. It looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can.
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
The two of you, easily. The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement, then turn the body to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You've definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even some pagan rites.
Really? You think it's gonna work?
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in an ice bear fridge. This story does
No,
not
of
lead this
course.
room.
He means it. He doesn't want to be the ice,
Ice
bear.
Bear Cop. That sounds so cool, though. I think this is a glorious achievement. People need to hear about it.
No, they do not. They need to hear about our uneventful, boring, downright conservative murder
so boring.
investigation. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Ryder, tell me something. Take the note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge or the decomposing body in it.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in a abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
So they tried to sell the ice cream with it hyper-carnival.
What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day. The electricity bill must be catastrophic. On the other hand, it did help us with a certain corpse situation.
Lucky
Look,
us.
yes. Tell us something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney
How do you like it
Looney.
in a fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corporal Angelo. Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori
Try to
features.
remove the dead man's boots.
If possible. Also, see me in your dream.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some
Alright.
kind of circus.
Let's try to search the body one more time, thoroughly.
You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still have no idea where to begin, or what to even do with him.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
Alright, well, we'll do that later then. Interesting place, though.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice, or several voices, talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
Not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone that's talking upstairs.
Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs. We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains.
Smear my hands with coal, I guess.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint.
I'd rather not. That could, be bad for her health.
Yes. How grown up? The furnace agrees. The lieutenant
I'm not gonna
seems
kick you off my
relieved
foot
as well.
I'm gonna leave. And, what? Oh, money. And more stuff. Magnesium. Kim.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year. You should take care
But I
of
don't
that
have the money.
place. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already
Kim
do.
feels for us. Okay, let's okay, alright, interact. What am I doing? Okay, let's get out of here. For now. Yeah, so what? We need to go talk to the cafeteria manager, and hopefully he'll let us, sleep. Creepy place, but hey, we investigated stuff, it's alright. I'd like to get out of here, if I can. Oh geez, I don't think we can because it's closed. And I don't know if we can even fast travel too. Oh jeez. Yo, how do we get out of here, Kim?
Yes?
Oh boy. Bro, this is not good. Well, we're trapped in here, and, yeah, I should save. Or something. Well, in case I die. Somehow. I wonder, though, can you actually get out from the ice bear bridge?
As
Bro,
before,
we can't do that. Wait, what?
as before, an iron safety curtain curves before your
Okay,
eyes.
what if we went back and actually kicked the furnace? It could. It could. Okay, let's do that. If we kick the furnace, what happens? Well, one, we could end our story here. Or two, something mysterious happens, which is highly unlikely, but I don't know. Kick it.
A thick layer
Oh
of
shoot! Yeah, yep. I called it. I called it.
A hollow ring echoes.
I
through
totally
the foam.
called it. I got a little early in the game. I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah. I'm not about to waste like a medicine thing on me kicking that furnace. I was just curious. But then I really should avoid trying to do this. I'm not trying to be like the player who always takes stuff back. I'm gonna try to do what I would normally do. After this, I'll probably
As
die
before.
here.
An iron safe.
Yep, totally called it.
Those curtains prove to be.
There must be another way to wake.
Oh yeah, we died.
You feel something
Heart
in your
attack.
chest. An unnatural pressure.
Oh,
It's
someone-
spreading to your left. Yeah. There's no cop suffers final heart
Okay,
attack.
yeah, totally called it. Now, there is no way out here. I don't want to be trapped in thing. Man, what do I do? Can I not? I don't know if I can fast travel. I might. Okay. Okay. Boom. Oh, shoot, there's more stuff. Ice cream maker. A frozen ice cream maker. That's still. Well, it's full of ice cream makers. Oh, shoot, the stairs. Ooh. Insane mesh top.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to
Why
the
would
ice
we want
cream
to
maker.
unplug it? That'd be ridiculous. Money. Can we just get Nosafed? More medicine. Okay, let's get out of here. Actually, I'll plug it.
Two cables are plugged something close to you. Died.
Why did you do that?
Because it's black. It's not like it's the red one. I don't know. I'll see this.
The lieutenant raises his somewhere. A machine hums along with the current.
Wait.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles.
There's a hole in the wall.
Must be an old weapons cache. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole.
Okay, I do.
Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles
skin.
hidden away.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Take it.
This one looks
You're
nice.
a police officer. Police officers carry guns.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still, beautiful thing in its
What
own
does this
way.
mean, a rifle, yeah?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say.
He likes this find.
Cool. Okay, let's talk to that person. World of Rags.
Can I
So
help
about
you?
that money, I was
Yes.
wondering if we could
Have
come
you
to
got
some sort
it?
of arrangement for tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Kim is about to say something. Let him.
I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and
He shrinks back a bit under the lieutenant's severe gaze.
I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this
I
establishment.
still have my key, you know.
Good luck trying to use it. All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key.
This conversation
opens the
isn't
lock.
going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay, I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Alright. What did he see have in the car? Are we gonna sleep outside? I really do need to heal. I have not been doing too well here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio mic.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated this for a little while back.
What do you
We
mean
can take them to the pawn
confiscated
shop
them?
down by the Martinez Canal. A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high.
So you took his spinners?
I took them and arrested him for driving
Isn't that
under the
corruption?
influence. I don't know. Is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He
Did you
never
want to
asked
put
for
these
them.
spinners on your machine?
No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. cup with spinners.
That would be
It would
outrageously
outrageous.
cool.
He flashes a smile, barely visible.
I'm
in
sorry
the
you have
dark.
to sell them because of me.
As I said, they're useless anyway. I should have remembered I have these earlier.
But thank you.
Alright, I appreciate your help.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Okay, let's go to the pawn shop, I guess. Where is the pawn shop anyway?
Yes?
We gotta go this way. Voila.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip
does King do?
II, the opulent. Father, what did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know what this guy did many centuries ago? High above you, the king stands triumphantly oblivious to your memory trail. The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes, and food money.
Excuse me,
Maybe
ma'am,
she's
I'd like to
your-
ask some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better
If
to
you
leave
say
her
so.
alone.
I don't want to bother her, I guess. What tank top? Is that the pawn shop? I hope it is.
Is
Tell
this
me
about
about
questions again?
the thing about
'Cause
this reality.
I don't
movie.
really know anything.
Reality? You mean
Just tell me about
what
the
reality?
economic reality.
Economic reality, or I don't really
Fif-
know anything.
15
I
is an
mean,
excellent
I'm
time to learn
15.
about the economic reality.
Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frit. So I guess like
What about the physical
that's
reality?
economic. I don't know.
What is a revolution?
What about it? When ordinary people take over the government and
What about the one we had
demands
here in Russia?
democracy. Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so.
Coalition,
Sorry,
what's
I'm not
that?
very good at
Someone
this.
told me there's one.
At history, I mean. Our government? Or do you mean something else? I don't know. Look at...
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem
We're in Frit?
As
As
mankind.
mankind, or...
in a good place?
I mean, science is doing great.
Okay, cool. We talked a bit, I guess. There's people sleeping. We really should get that stuff pawned off here. As ASAP. However, I do not know. Okay. Damages south of the plaza. Gotcha. Alright, I have no idea where I'm going.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. You pull the lever all the way up until nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gut. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need... Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality?
Wednesday morning, huh? Well, we still gotta get to the pawn shop, which is south of the plaza. I do not know where that could be. Because, which way is south again? Fortunately, we do not have a good map on us. So, south of the plaza. That could mean anything. Is north sun is up south of the plaza, south of the plaza. What is that? Okay. That's a bookshop. What's this? We gotta... Oh, we just hear seabirds. A bunch of bullet holes. Some dude. Some drunk dude, apparently. Come on. Through this sunk lane, curbside apartments.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCN.
What gave us away? Shaking her hand.
I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears...
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole.
So what do
It's
they
a
do?
giant undertaking. The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration.
How much money does
offshore
Wild Pines
platforms.
have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Wow.
Billion?
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families?
Where
It's
does
a tremendous
Wild Pines get all this
responsibility.
billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build
What
it.
does a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's
8%.
cargo?
All cargo in the world. That's quite the endeavor. Indeed.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break.
Supply chain.
Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully.
Can you tell
says
me
her
about the
warm
strike?
tone.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence.
An octopus.
It's
I'll
quite the
slay it.
octopus. Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
But I am derailing us. You
What is
wanted to
your role in
know
this
about the
thing?
strike. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth
Means you're
blocking the
unique.
gates.
My race mentor. He was a great teacher. A man of virtue.
Oh, so you've met him. Has he beguiled you with his inane theories?
My colleague has his peculiarities. Let's not go into this particular one just yet.
Of
How are
course.
the talks going
To
with
each
oil
their
engines?
own. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you
What
could
are their
say,
demands?
aggressive. There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
They're over aggressive, calming, posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker,
Most of them
a
probably
member
don't
of
know
the
what it
board.
means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This
What happened
checks
to
out.
Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of
Okay, then.
stature, you see. Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive
Yeah,
posture.
at the gate. What did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you.
What do you
Not
think
right
of
now, at least. Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the
Yeah.
workers first. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo
That's
where
Everard,
you
right?
and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's
There are
his
two of
twin
them?
brother, Edgar. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers'
What about the
dues.
union itself?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with...
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
Basically a socialist mob.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf, the wolf always hungers.
Said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work.
Theory.
Ever. End up downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves.
Oh,
I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Yes.
I
Dang
can't
it.
hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life in the world.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCI.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually
kind of arrangement
beneficial
would it be?
arrangement. I mean, favors for favors. A dirty
All right,
alliance
let's
of some sort.
let's do the suggestion.
Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I
Surely
said,
there's some other way
nice
to
and
demonstrate our
dirty.
law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but
Like
expect
what?
her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective,
Excuse
a word in
us for a
private
moment,
before we
madam.
continue.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota.
What? Sounds like my stomach's growling.
Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow. The vows
What is
are
my lower
blood
intestine
and
going on
flesh.
about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
What?
Fascism, Brota.
What is fascism, though?
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachon's
I
problems?
thought you were my circulatory system.
Quit stalling, Bruta. We're talking about the weakest,
Thing
worst,
is it gonna be
most
liberals?
insane thing.
Sounds maybe.
The weak link.
No, let us academicians.
Yes, them. But
What?
also Wormen. Wormen, men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs
Oh
to be
my
scrubbed off
gosh.
this world with rubbing alcohol.
So
Wormen
misogynistic.
need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that women
Am I having
need
some
to
kind of
know
stomach
their
seizure?
place. Stomach truth.
Why
You're
am I
having
getting
a
this?
stomach truth. Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things, you've said
Oh,
them
okay.
many times.
Fascism sounds so bad though. What if we called it something else, like traditionalism? What? Oh my gosh.
Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota.
Absolutely not. I'm not gonna be played by an upset stomach.
There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged lip. It is one of betrayal and disappointment.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and you know, not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Really? I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
I'm sorry for putting us into this situation. I'll handle it.
I'm sure
Do you
will,
suppose that we
Detective.
don't investigate the traveling?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's
Good,
done
just, you know,
and
find
demand
the
further
badge.
information on the lynching. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request
get
a
back
new
to
one
her,
from
though.
the station, but that would
Okay, I have to go to sleep. I'll call it here. I'll save. And yeah, I will talk to her. Then I'll like somehow sell stuff to the pawn shop. And yeah, that'll be this game. I'll see you later. Good night.